toe and for the bills. That's it. If you ain't getting my hair done, if you ain't getting my nails done, if you ain't doing nothing for me, then I don't need you here. It's not 50-50. It's not 80-20. It's 100% to 0.
All right, guys. So we're going to be reacting to a few different clips today. Jasmine, what is this one?
So this one basically is a young female. She's basically explaining to this guy, like, if you're not supporting me, if you're not doing X, Y, and Z, like, I don't want to be with you.
Passport bro movement is growing. So it's a lot of dudes that's out here talking about getting their passports and just going overseas or whatever and get with a chick. So we're going to see. We're going to go ahead and get into it.
Bad tactic.
All right. There we go. Make sure that volume is turned up. Oh.
Do better.
Now this thing is naked.
That's it. If you ain't getting my hair done, if you ain't getting my nails done, if you ain't doing nothing for me, then I don't need you here. It's not 50-50. It's not 80-20. It's 100% to 0.
It's one side. Look, that's why American relationships are failures. That's why American women, on a global context, are the worst for relationships, long-term period. That's why the divorce rate is the highest in the world here, and that's why, on the desirability level, American women are at the bottom of the global barrel.
It was the longest time. And then he got the patrol. I don't even listen to it, but I listened.
Oh, Lord.
He meant that shit.
Obviously, proposed and buy the ring and all that stuff. Give them the ring. Real quick.
I really do believe that modern feminism encourages male absence. It encourages it because it's become toxic. They use terms like toxic masculinity, right? And I say to myself, all of their examples, the idea of what it means to be a man now is toxic. They think, oh, this is a man. Masculinity is wrong. There's something inherently wrong with being a masculine man. And to me, I always say that it was toxic masculinity that saved me. You know, I had a healthy fear of my grandfather. Nobody played around with my grandfather. We still don't play around with my grandfather, you know, and it's just, there's a certain level of respect when you're in his home. There are rules. And because I had that healthy fear, I was, I guess, more responsive to that sort of
I only want you for the money and the toe and for the bills.
She said she only wants him for the money and the bills?
The belts, the clothes.
Oh.
That's why I meant, like, L play back.
Wow. Okay. So we're going to pause it.
Or does it refresh you? I don't know what you're doing.
That's it. If you ain't getting my hair done, if you ain't getting my nails done, if you ain't doing nothing for me, then I don't need you here.
Wow.
It meant that shit with her chest.
But I'm tripping on what is all this extra stuff up here? Like, she talking about getting her hair done. Most of her hair look like sideburns or something, man.
She cut. Listen, when your hair don't grow and you try to
slick it down, we're gonna use that gel, man.
Yeah, once you run it back.
It's one side. Look, that's why American relationships are failures. That's why American women, on a global context, are the worst for relationships, long-term period. That's why the divorce rate.
All right, so yeah. So break it down. So he said that the American women are the worst when it comes to relationships.
Long term, yes.
Long term. Okay, so break it down. Why don't you think?
I don't agree. I feel like a huge part of it is that our generation do not know how to accept accountability.
Absolutely.
They are not able to effectively communicate, nor are they able to compromise. And because a lot of my counterpart chaps of the generations, they were never taught that a conversation goes a long way. So once they see something and they reach conflict, it leads to other things. Now you're being disrespectful. Now it's tit for tat. Now, oh, I did this because you made me feel X, Y, and Z.
Absolutely.
It has absolutely nothing to do with the gender. Now, American women are piss poor and trash. I ain't gonna hold y'all. As a female, us females are terrible. And I'm proud.
Some of them, I'm about to say, because not
all of us. But it's for the right person.
So I want to ask this question.
Let's hear it.
Because he's speaking mainly to women when he says this. I know you said something about people coming across as being disrespectful, right? Do you think that men, like if you're having a conversation, do you think that a man is going to be the person that tends to disrespect, or do you think that women
It depends. It depends on your level of
So let's speak about
accountability.
majority then. Do you think that majority
What age
of
group
the
we
time?
talking about? What age group?
She talk-
Because I date 35 and up for a reason.
Oh Lord.
Now, depending on what it is that has happened, men will blow up. But females, we overreact.
Right.
We overreact.
So who do you think? Let's just say, who do you think in like an overall most of the time in a regular conversation? Who do you think throws the first low blow?
The hurt one. That can go either way. That can go either way.
Listen,
That can go either way.
I respect it though. She done been here before, man. She knows.
I lack shame.
Oh Lord.
You can't make me
Highest
feel
rate of
bad.
marriage, and that's why on the desirability level, American women are at the bottom of the global barrel. This is all statistically documented from men, because at the end of the day, the ones who decide if a woman is valuable for a relationship is men.
How you feel about that?
Is the person that's gonna have.
I mean, I agree because I think that women control access to sex and who is born, but men control access to relationships and marriage long term.
So how does that put American women at the bottom if that's the one you chose?
Well, most men are choosing not to be in relationships and be married because most women are not being married, in this day and age or whatever. Like, let's just use black women, for instance. 1 out of 4 black women will ever marry in her lifetime. And that's to black, Asian, Mexican, any type of guy that's in the States or outside of the States. 1 out of 4 black women will marry in a lifetime. And I think that most guys are choosing not to go down that route because, and this is across the board. This is all men, not just black men, not just white men, but all men across the board. Anytime it's inside of the courts, they're going to always side with the woman. Always. So a lot of guys are just choosing not to deal with it because they already know they're going to get the short end of the stick. Talk to me.
Depends on the state. Because let me tell y'all, and this is a little bit personal, I have a whole baby daddy who is not on the birth certificate, not on any paperwork. Because he got the court before me, they gave him legal right to my son, week on, week off visitation. And I had to give him up that week. I said, dang, this is not even know my son's middle name. They said, oh, well, we're a 50-50 state. We believe in equal rights. Okay, that's fine, but no. So it just depends on where you're at. Like Alabama, I know for a fact is a women's state. Georgia is at 50-50. We are 50-50. South Carolina is a women's state. So it just kind of depends on how you play it.
And again, I'm always open to the possibility that I am wrong when it comes to this. But again, it still goes back to when I say most men are choosing not to be married and all the other stuff. So when we talk about, the reason why most of those women are at the bottom is because when you look across the board, and this is not including all women, but most women, it's hard to get a young lady on your program. Like, I'm trying to talk to you, trying to get you to maybe understand or whatever, get on my program, because most guys that I know, they're logical thinkers. They think logic. And when I think about most of the women that I know, it's a little bit more impulse. They make a lot of decisions based on their feelings. And if you want to get with a guy, you got to be a little bit more cooperative and talk and communicate. And sometimes you're going to have to just go with the guy. So you're going to have to be more cooperative. I don't think a lot of women are doing that until, I'm going to say, close to that maybe mid 30, 40 range, which is when they say, that wall kind of comes into play or whatever.
So, I feel you on that wholeheartedly. You cannot teach a wife to be a wife. It's like you can't teach a husband to be a husband. So then that comes down to the root problem of why they are like this. And most females have never had an example. Most females have always had the broken family, which is, sometimes a 2-parent home is just not it. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Whatever the case may be.
But children would be a lot better if it was two parents.
It depends, because I had both parents and one was abusive. Not every situation is well.
But you should know. So if you're going through those issues, right, the child should not know about that. Like, I think anytime you're having a disagreement or anything, that should happen when the doors are closed, the
Away
kids are
from
down.
children.
Yeah, absolutely, because you
I
kind of open
have
up
to
the
agree.
door to a lot of different things.
I have to agree.
Mm-hmm.
But life don't happen like that.
Absolutely. It's hard, man. You know, it's hard to keep quiet if you
Because I don't shut up. That's my problem. That's why I probably never get married. I have a serious issue, and I don't know how to be a soft girl. I'm too masculine.
Stop the cap.
And I don't know how to be a soft girl. I'm too masculine.
it's
And
in it. It's in
I don't know
it most certainly is. Listen, I think that all women, when you sever that thing all the way down to the bone, I think that every woman is capable of being soft, because you had to learn that hardness from somewhere. And I believe that all things that is learned, you can like unteach yourself, and it's going to come from the right coach. And when you say, you know, regardless if you grew up in a broken home or whatever, you can still be taught different things. You can grow up around you can grow up around the hood, and you can get away from that, and you can surround yourself around business and like-minded individuals, and you can actually move how you're supposed to move, instead of, you know what I'm saying, operating based on where you grew up. So I think that a lot of us need coaching, like young women that maybe grew up and they weren't around a soft, feminine woman. You just get the right coach. And I always tell people this all the time. I was like, whatever you want in life, always try to find someone out there that has those results. Okay. And you go to those people and you just basically write down and learn everything. I'm talking about take everything. If they have that type of man that you want, so you want a man that's making, you know, 6 figures, he's taking care of the household, whatever. I think that everybody, like whatever it is out there that you want, you can have it. But it's going to require for you to make some type of change. All right. So if you look at this young lady, right, you know, and the young lady that you're looking up to, you know, maybe she's a little bit more soft. I'm going to have to try to adopt those things or whatever, and continue to try it in your everyday life. With any man, you can just practice or whatever, right? And it works, man. I think personally it works.
The curls are girly, guys. Let me tell you. I'm rough. About a good 87% of it. And I just, I think a lot of that comes from me just not caring.
Yeah.
I'm what they call a nonchalant woman. You've heard of those? When
do you think that started to occur?
So I suffer from certain traumas in life. So what I do when I get really stressed is detach.
Yeah. That's understandable. I mean, I know a lot of people.
It gets bad.
Yeah. But when do you think that started? Like if you could put like a time limit on it, like what year? It was a summer of 75.
Oh, I was a young
Right.
young Shirley went down. Sorry if there's any Shirleys out there that went down the road.
Oh Lord.
I ain't gonna mind my business, but I would have to say it had to start at 4.
At 4? Good grief, man.
Certain traumas cause certain things, and certain things trigger other things. So 4 is when I experienced my first major trauma, and it's trickled into my life now. So I can say honestly, it benefited me in a way to where I know to look for certain things. I know how to react. I know how to cope a lot better, but I can't say the same for everybody, because my environment's not your environment, nor is my thought process. Like me, I'm a whole little boy. So I cannot sympathize with a lot of female issues.
Right.
A lot of it don't make sense. And I ain't gonna hold y'all females. Y'all stress me out with the shenanigans. It ain't even that deep.
I feel you.
So like even certain things like that. So friends, I could care less about that. Having closed heels.
So let me ask you this: Do you think that it is possible to maybe, do you know any woman out there that has the results that you want in life?
I don't have a result. That's the difference. I'm not a typical person. I have a goal, but as long as it's in that gray area, I don't care about the rest of it.
Do you want to be in a relationship?
I would, if I'm gonna be in a relationship, to be completely honest, I'm not willing to do the breakup. I'm willing to do a get to know period of 6 months to a year. After that, I would like a long-term engagement.
I gotcha. But if you could have any type of lifestyle that you wanted,
it would be that. I would prefer a poly relationship. I would prefer not to be married, aka the long engagement. I would prefer to have my one person that I explore the rest of my first with.
Like a Nia Long almost.
Who is that?
Nia Long?
Oh no! Wait! That's my wait! No!
Oh, cut the camera. No, I'm messing with you. But Nia Long from Friday.
Little Betty.
Yeah. You know, she was married to she was engaged to Ime Udoka, and they were engaged for like 10 years.
I can stand behind that.
Yeah, and I don't know if they had an open relationship because
we don't need an open relationship because I want a throuple. I would prefer myself to have a girlfriend.
Oh, okay. All right. That's definitely different. This is a new territory right here. So y'all give me a minute. I'm trying to process what's going on.
You're a gremlin, so sorry. But that's just if I had my way, I would prefer that. I don't want to really ever. I don't feel like I want to get into marriage. I feel like once I get into it, what if I change my mind?
Yeah, I understand that.
I much prefer get my one person. We date. If it don't work in that 6 months, okay, no harm, no foul, no real investment.
Well, let's just say you find the perfect situation, and you find a young lady that's going to
shenanigans.
Yeah, right. and you find. So, what type of guy like would you want? Do you want to work to have to pay significant bills, or do you want that to be like an option?
I don't care nothing about working for what
Would you prefer if you had a preference?
If I had a preference, I would prefer to have two businesses. One that I worked in full time, something with passive income.
Okay.
And I would like to my husband have the same going on as well. Yeah. Whereas if something was to fall through, my husband could take over. I could take over. If my kids got older and they wanted to work in a certain field, well, baby, I got two businesses. Gotcha. If not me, here go two more. Build them up from the ground. That's really my end goal in life. Everything else, sorry, I'm not gonna get married probably. So I talk too much shit. And I like bitches.
So so if you, but I'm saying though, like if you met the perfect guy today, right? The perfect guy, and those are one of those requirements that you have to be a soft, feminine young lady.
You have to work with me. That's something I would have to learn.
Can you start now?
Listen, the hair is curly, the eyebrows have been arched, the legs been shaved. I've got a nail appointment.
All right.
We're
talking about up under the hood.
Inside.
So when it's time to have a conversation, and you feel like I think you figure out what type of person you are and how far along you done came once that person, or you feel like you've been disrespected. Then that's when you really figure out if all of that stuff really paid off.
I would love to have, if we're going to do the 6 months to the year probation, I would love for us to have our first real argument within the first 2 months.
Oh man,
I'd rather us have an argument and I can see how you deal with me, and then I can know how to grow with you.
So
what if you found your perfect person? Have you found your perfect person?
I'm gonna be honest. As of right now, like marriage doesn't seem logical to me. Okay. And I still have to do a lot of research behind that, man. It's a lot of things that I don't know. I got to research. I haven't had like the time to really research. I got so much stuff going on right now, so that is definitely not a focus right now. We're gonna throw that back out into the water right now. We're trying to get some other stuff, man.
I understand that. So if you met your perfect person today, what would be your first instinct, so to speak?
I'm gonna continue to work on me. You know what I mean? That's about it. Continue to work on me and continue to work on my goals, because if I meet that perfect person, then they understand that they are there to help me. So whatever I need, they gon' back whatever it is. And I'm one of those guys. I don't ask for much. I don't ask for much. I don't need much. Just a simple guy. Just make sure you hopefully have some food or whatever.
I was about to say feed you
afterward. But that's it though. Like cleaning. Oh my goodness, cleaning, organizing, like anything else, man.
You will do it.
And I would not mind, honestly, being like the guy that takes care of everything else. But she has to keep up herself. Your femininity, to me, is like one of the most important things behind making sure that I'm fed. Okay.
You have a list.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fair.
That food is like I got
things.
Yeah, man, because I turned into the Incredible Hulk.
I've seen you.
Right.
It ain't even cute.
So we got this. So we got to make sure. But I was asking all that to ask this because then you can also ask me this as well, right? If you met the perfect person today, do you think you would be able to sustain and keep them?
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm very toxic. I'm very damaged. I have a lot of healing, and right now it's for me and my kids.
I feel you.
You may join a little bit if you want, but not too much.
I understand.
Don't get comfortable. So
I am a very selfish person, and I have gotten comfortable with being alone and being by myself. That is not good for a relationship. It's not good for anybody. You know.
I don't know. I could stand behind being in my room by myself. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Don't listen.
To be honest, with Kiki, hear me out. If we was to get married today and you had your own room,
Oh my God.
I wouldn't care.
I can sit there and play games all day.
I'm a knock on your door next
And
to you.
just press, right.
Hey, which one are you in? All right, get off my Wi-Fi.
Oh Lord.
I could be perfectly fine with you not bothering me. Now, I do require attention. I require reassurance.
See? And I'm not good. I'm not good when it comes to that.
But that's something. Okay, so me myself, when I meet you, I tell you up front that I'm ain't shit. I'm terrible. I'm toxic. All of the above, because I'm hurt and I'm healing, and I might hurt you. I let you know up front. No disclosures. Now when you come to me crying, I'm gonna block you because I told you up front.
Oh Lord.
So in that beginning interview, I let you know, like, you know, sometimes I'm not gonna want to talk. Sometimes I'm just gonna want to cuddle. Sometimes I just need you to sit right there while I eat my snacks.
Okay, so I'm thinking, you know, because as a woman, you're supposed to be a nurturer.
I'm another. I'm a different breed. I don't stand by them regularly. I can nurture you though. If you tell me, okay, my love language is X, Y, and Z, I'm a caterer of love languages naturally. Right. So if you tell me, okay, my love language is getting random gifts. If you tell me you have a bad day, I'm gonna bring flowers and candy to your job. Off rip. Now when I get home, don't bother me because I done took care of you.
Let me finish this guy. She's showing up.
Obviously, proposed and buy the ring and all that stuff. Give them the ring. Real quick.
I really do believe that modern feminism encourages male absence. It encourages it because it's become toxic. They use terms like toxic masculinity, right? And I say to myself,
all right, so this young lady, what is her name again? I forgot what her name is.
I can't even see that.
God, what is her freaking name, man? I want to say the first time I seen this young lady, she was actually on a panel. So I honestly, I'm a little bit more open-minded now when it comes to a lot of things.
Oh, I have a question outside of this camera then. Stay tuned.
No crazy.
Nothing crazy.
all of their examples of the idea of what it means to be a man now is toxic. They think, oh, this is a man. Masculinity is wrong. There's something inherently wrong with being a masculine man. And to me, I always say that it was toxic masculinity that saved me. You know, I had a healthy fear of my grandfather. Nobody played around with my grandfather. We still don't play around with my grandfather, you know, and it's just, there's a certain level of respect when you're in his home. There are rules. And because I had that healthy fear, I was, I guess, more responsive to that sort of authority.
So I don't.
Man, she
said a mouthful.
Yeah,
but really nothing, because I don't understand what they got to do with the first video. Your fear for your grandfather has absolutely nothing to do with how her parents failed her.
Wait a minute. She said something about her parents failed her?
No, I'm saying her parents failed her. If your child grows up into adulthood thinking this is okay, this is something they've been shown. This girl wholeheartedly believes.
Oh yeah. Okay, I got you.
And she's like, oh, a toxic masculinity. No. My good sis need a whooping.
Yeah. So you hear like toxic. That word toxic pop up a lot. It's aggravating, man.
It's not accurate.
I don't think it is a such thing as toxic masculinity. Go ahead. Break it down. What is toxic masculinity?
It's people who use it abusively. Someone who tries to bully you because they are bigger or because they know they're a man and they're stronger. Someone who knows, all right, you're a little bit more submissive, so I'm going to talk to you crazy because I know that you're just going to take it. That I would consider toxic masculinity.
Wouldn't that just be a toxic person, though? That wouldn't be a...
It's not going off his characteristics. He's going strictly off of him being a man. Now, if it was just his personality...
That sounds like a dick to me.
I like that.
I hear that a lot, but most of the time when I hear it, it's from young women that just view a strong, masculine guy that's a leader, and I don't know. I don't see anything toxic about when I hear like most of the women that I hear like spit or say like toxic masculinity. Most of the time when they talk about a guy, they always use these trigger words, which misogynistic. Oh my God, narcissist, like stuff like that. And then you ask them, just like,
well,
no,
how?
it sound like man, he's like way loud.
Well, he's a liar. What are you talking about now?
It's just regular, like regular stuff, man. Just regular stuff from like regular people, but it's nothing like above. Like most people don't even understand what the meaning of a narcissist.
And if you encounter one, you will know.
Right, man. It's like let's go ahead and dive through and look at the definition. Like, it doesn't make any sense, man. So when I be hearing those words, I just be what
I don't, and that comes with the lack of being able to accept accountability yet again. If someone cannot talk to you and you don't take offense, then you're not mature enough for this conversation and we don't need to have it. That's all that is. Yeah,
man. That's why it is so important. That's why I say, like, when you're having, especially like conversations like this, you gotta be able to separate the person from the conversation. Like, if we're gonna talk, like, do not think because I'm asking you or I'm speaking, I'm saying like, most or whatever, that I'm speaking directly to you. And you look at most of these podcasts, most of these videos and stuff, when asked, it's automatically like triggering certain people. And that's male or female, based on the things that they done went through in their life or whatever. They hear a certain situation or something and they automatically think, I'm about to go off, I'm about to get off. Like, I have to defend this. Instead of just looking at, like, let me just take a step back real quick and maybe he shouldn't have went about doing things this way. Or maybe she shouldn't have said that.
Effective communication.
Absolutely.
I feel like those are key.
Absolutely.
Outside of accountability, effective communication, and to be able to cooperate and compromise. Without those three, you don't have nothing. In any relationship, situationship, friendship, co-workers.
Yeah.
That's anything in life. And everyone in this new generation feels like they're owed something.
Oh my God, absolutely, yes, I would
agree.
Yeah, I deserve this type of person, that type of person.
You haven't even worked long enough to start your 401k, and you want.
Some of them don't even know what a 401k is.
No,
like, I'm not giving that person any money. Like,
and how much are you putting into it? Do you know of your benefits? Do you have life insurance? Do your children have life insurance? What are we talking here? Absolutely not.
But we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up for today, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hopefully we'll be able to do a part 2 with LaJJ if she has something. She's a very, very busy young lady, man.
I like
names. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, man. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be beautiful. And I'll catch you in the next one.
Ooh, be blessed
Peace.
and beautiful. Why you ain't tell?
Blueberry, Burberry, button-up. Tan skin, mixed race, buttercup. Canada weather, got a bundle up. I'm tryna work, she hit my phone, she wanna. Whoa.